So vaccines are on top of India's wish list. The quicker we vaccinate, the quicker we can end this nightmare. But what's ailing India's rollout? Why is the world's pharmacy running out of jabs? I'm going to share with you some numbers that will give you a fair idea of what's happening. There are more than 3,000 pharma companies in India. Together, they run 10,500 manufacturing facilities. It's an industry valued at more than $30 billion. Now, guess how many of these firms are making Wuhan virus vaccines? Just two. The Serum Institute and Bharat Biotech. Two firms out of more than 3,000 are producing vaccines in India. Why aren't the rest producing vaccines? Because they do not have the license. Why don't they have the license? Because of patents. Vaccines, you see, are patented. Their recipes are locked away. Pharma giants are unwilling to publicly share knowledge. So we have a handful of companies that are doing all the heavy lifting, producing all the vaccines with their limited capacity. What can be done to change this? That's what we'll talk about tonight. Three specific questions. Number one, can the World Trade Organization waive patents on Wuhan virus vaccines? India has already proposed this. We'll tell you who else is on board. Question number two, what can be done at home? What can India do? Is overriding patents an option? What does the law have to say about this? And question number three, can a patent waiver actually solve India's vaccine crunch? Let's start with the first question. How likely is a patent waiver internationally? In October, India and South Africa proposed this at the World Trade Organization, the WTO. It split the world along expected lines. Most of the developing countries supported this proposal, but the West refuses to budge. Australia, Canada, the EU, Britain, and the US are opposing it. They want to keep vaccine formulas locked away. But what exactly is their motivation? After all, these are countries that are heading towards a vaccine surplus. They have enough for themselves. So it makes no sense for them to block a patent waiver. Unless, of course, if you account for the lobbying of big pharma, then it makes perfect sense. If the West gives in, vaccine formulas could become a global common. Every pharma company could be producing vaccines. And there is precedent for this. In 2001, the WTO waived patents on drugs for LDCs, or least developed countries. In 2015, this waiver was extended for another 17 years. So patents are important, yes, but they're not absolute. But can India wait around for the WTO to act? This pandemic has taught us one thing. Global solidarity exists only in theory. So what can India do on its own? Which brings us to question number two. Is compulsory licensing an option? This is basically an override of patents. What is compulsory licensing? Regulators can authorize companies to produce a patented product without the patent owner's permission. You see, all vaccines are patented by their makers. And it is the government's job to protect these patents. But sometimes, during emergencies, governments themselves can override these patents. Think of it as the greater good. And in India, compulsory licensing is permitted under the Patents Act of 1970, specifically Section 92 of this Act. It empowers the central government to issue compulsory licenses. And there are three conditions under which the government can do this. One, there must be a national emergency. Two, the requirement must be extremely urgent. And three, it must be for public, non-commercial use. In India, we have a deadly virus killing 3,000 Indians a day. It does qualify for all three. So theoretically, India can do this. We can override patents on Pfizer, on AstraZeneca, the whole lot. Remember those 3,000 pharma companies we mentioned in India? All of them could be producing Wuhan virus vaccines. And for the record, this is a practice approved by the World Trade Organization. Countries are free to issue compulsory licenses during emergencies. They're also free to decide what constitutes an emergency. There's only one caveat. The patent owner must be suitably compensated. So there's no scope of a backlash from Geneva. Even the Supreme Court of India is now asking the centre to consider this option, compulsory licensing. If the government does opt for it, a good start would be, or could be, Bharat Biotech's Covaxin. It's a homegrown jab, so making it available to other producers would set a great example for the world. But is overriding patents a sure shot solution? Well, it's certainly a first step, and I'll explain why. Patent waiving is not the same as patent sharing. When you waive a patent, your companies, Indian companies, will have to reverse engineer the vaccines, not to mention run clinical trials all over again. So in the long run, patent waivers are the way to go. But to beat the immediate bottleneck, there's an even better solution: voluntary licenses. Let me tell you how this works with an example. AstraZeneca's vaccine is patented, but India's Serum Institute has been producing it by the millions. This is because AstraZeneca has issued a voluntary license for their jab. They have shared their formula with the Serum Institute. Sputnik V has done the same with Dr. Reddy's in India. Voluntary licenses save time and money, and we can't spare either right now. To step up vaccine production, two things need to happen. One, Indian pharma companies must reach out for licenses. They cannot sit out this vaccination drive. And two, foreign jab makers need to loosen the reins. Either make their formulas public or issue more voluntary licenses. These are decisions that usually involve a lot of haggling. But India needs to make them, and make them right now. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.